Hey everybody, I'm that girl Goddess, and a while back I made a video about who influenced you to do um content creations, to be on YouTube or any other social media platform. The reason I said that is because it's very important, especially for small YouTubers, that you look at creditable channels. And I don't say model yourself behind them, but look at certain things. Listen to some of their advice and see when they give advice, do they take it? A lot of small content creators hurt their page because they follow foolishness. And I did this for a while. It's a very popular female content creator. She be begging and all kind of stuff, and she be with excitement. And when I first got on YouTube, I seen her page and I was inspired by it. And I went on her page, I looked at one of the videos and I was like, oh, I hit the like. Thank you. You inspire me in the comments. And what I found out later on, well, first, she replied under my comment. And the reply was, now go ahead and quit your job. And I was like, what? And when I heard it, I was disturbed. I'm not gonna lie. I said, quit my job. I only posted like 2 videos and said I was inspired. And I looked, I said, that's not very wise. And from that moment on, I went ahead and looked on her page and I clicked on 2 or 3 more of her videos and I watched them. And she was talking about how she was so excited and she lost weight on one page and video. And another video, she was talking about when she make it, she won't charge them. She gonna help all small content creators. And I listened to some of the advice she gave. And I looked at the comments I read and I looked at the advice she gave them. And I began to scratch my head. And I went into prayer. I said, well, God, you told me, to go ahead and do my YouTube page and everything. And I just stepped off on faith. Okay. And when I stepped off on faith, God let me know there's a lot to learn along the way, which is always a lot to learn along the way. And I I just started posting and everything. And then I looked at other people, I pulled up a lot of videos on small content creators, watched their stuff. And somebody else mentioned that this particular person told them to quit their job. And she said, I quit my job like a dummy. She told me I will be monetized real early, real quick and fast, and just talk about anything. And I ain't gonna lie, I do look at some videos that's about nothing. Okay. And people say, well, why do you even entertain that? And I'm gonna tell you, I entertain it because personally, I like craziness, like the movie Cheers, the sitcom. Sometimes I would sit and watch that and didn't like. I mean, it was boring. It wasn't about nothing. I like to hear sound sometimes. I like to hear real people talk about day to day life. It helps set a normal for me. You know, and I listened, and the woman she was trying to do it, and she's like, "Oh, I ain't getting subscribers like she said. She said this, she said that." Oh, I'm sorry. I had a big mosquito just came into my house, and this mosquito done bit me about 3, 4 times. I thought I was crazy, but it was a mosquito. Anyway, let me get back, and I continue to watch different videos. And I seen how about 6 or 7 people that kept praising her on every video and mention her name in the titles. About 3 of their pages got, I guess they shut them down because she told them to um do their videos. How was it? Do their videos and basically do the same video a different day, or it's something like that about repeating videos or reposting or something and copying people's material. But anyway, his page got banned. And when I seen that, I was like, I heard another young man was like that. They teaming up now, talking about just reposting other people's material, make it your own. Some of them was like, just repost certain videos of yours, run it again under a different title. And most of the pages got banned, but them two haven't got banned. Then this one lady, she said, she said, well, I can't be posting on YouTube because she had to go get her a job. I haven't seen her page or anything else. I don't know if she kept it up. We're going to come back to it later. But when I say be careful who influence you, this is in all areas of your life. You got to know people have motives. Okay? People, when you give shout out to other people pages, what happened is people will go over to their pages and you can increase their views. Okay? I decided not to use neither one of their names. And I listened to some of the advice, because when I got my page, it's like I went up in subscribers in about 2 months to probably about 100 subscribers. I was so excited. Okay. And I made a video about YouTube is giving small content creators, a lot of help promoting them. I forgot how I phrased it, but it was like they was on easy mode. Small content creators on easy mode. And I did it. I was like, wow. Because people was telling me how long it took them to get a couple of subscribers. And I was like, okay, I understood. The first 2 weeks it was kind of hard, but then it just boosted up all of a sudden. But most of the people that took advice from this woman and her videos lost their pages. They literally lost their pages. And I went to the page, they was disappearing, and other people started writing about that person. And I went in the comments and they was saying, no, he shouldn't have listened to this. He shouldn't have did this. And I go to different people that criticize this person, but they be telling the truth. Because she be selling stuff and she tell me she'll never do this. And sometimes it's so fake, the stuff she say. Because like I said, I examine her. She did inspire me to get busy. But I think that was just God working through her at that moment to reach me to go ahead and do what I wanted to do. And what he also called me to do, because he did tell me to build a page, but I always wanted to be a content creator anyway. And I guess they got uninspired because I looked at their page, looked for them. And a lot of them pages is just non-existent. And so a lot of them, they don't post anything. And I made the video to say, who is influencing you? And I made that video because to be successful in anything, you have to have a good mentor. You got to have a mentor that want to see you successful. A mentor that can tell you which pitfalls not to get into. I mean, yes, we're going to make mistakes along the way, but we need coaching as well. And along the way, I realized when I looked at some of my videos, I was like, oh, I'm all over the place. I have a speech impairment because of an accent. So I've been working on it and looking at books and saying the words, trying to pronounce them and decrease my accent. Okay. And what I found was I just have to relax and be me. I want people to be able to understand me. So I'm working on articulation. Okay. And, you get some mean people. And I respond to him. I was like, you don't have nothing better to do to sit around and try to bully somebody? Or why you make that statement? I don't want you. And then after about a week, I delete them, block them from my page. You know, I don't want negativity on my page. It's not going to be an arguing match. When you take that earring out your nose, well, baby, this is cultural, and I understand you may not like it, but I'm not going to criticize you and tell you everything I don't like about you. So we're going to keep this respectful. I want to keep my page respectful. I like talking to people. I'm building on my communication skills as well. And I'm thriving and praying to have a better page and a better way of expressing myself. I tend to be very quiet when I wasn't on YouTube, in a lot of ways because, to be honest, I'm kind of shy, you know, but I learned to study some of the do's and don'ts on YouTube. It's like, scams. I ain't gonna do no scam. Ask for money. I ain't gonna do no money. Yes, I'm a prophet. I used to be a pastor. Used to have my church, me and my husband, at one season of my life. Okay. God called me back to the platform and want me to teach a lot of things because I have a lot of knowledge. One, being Islander, Indian Islander, I know about a lot about witchcraft. I lived in Louisiana and a lot of southern states. So I know a lot, and I know a lot about Christianity too, because I was a pastor. Being older and having adult children, I learned a lot about raising children and had a youth ministry of so many young adults, was a detention officer, worked with juveniles and in trouble. I know a lot about a lot of subjects, what a lot of young adults need, what a lot of older adults, you know, a lot of older adults, no, they can't offer advice because they was in bad shape. I told everybody, the generation that raised us, oh my God, they was abusive on all levels, and they ain't know much. And we grew up and realized some of the stuff they was saying was just crazy. You know, they thought if they had a strong arm and was abusive, that was going to be success for them. That we were seen and not heard. Okay. I'm not saying don't listen to no adults. I'm saying that when someone tell you something, you need to listen to see if it makes sense. You need to go in prayer and ask God about it because God will send you people to help you along the way. They don't even have to have God in them, but God may use their mouth at that moment to deliver a message to you. God uses people. Okay. So along the way, I talk and everything, and you know, people say, "Yeah, you be lucky you can go viral." Well, I want to go viral one day, a lot, and I just want to have a lot of people that enjoy my page, and we grow in knowledge. And I want to build on my speaking arrangement because once before I had a stroke, lost ability of really speaking, and I'm starting all over again from a different stage. And I want to do this, and I have to believe in myself and believe God is going to do this to me because I am being able to talk on one subject and stay consistent. Yes, sometimes we say other things, and okay, God was letting me know, well, yeah, this is how you build your audience, and He's with me. And I thank God for everybody that I have, you know, because it's inspiring. And I'm so excited because, yes, I'm so excited because I'm doing something that I want to do and that I'm still on the platform. I'm thanking God for that. Okay. Has my page been perfect? No, but it's been consistent. I look at the number of videos I have, and it's almost 700 in about, it's almost 2 years, going into 2 years. And I can tell you 6 months of that, I didn't even make a video. But I thank God, you know, for the strength, for giving me the spirit of consistency, um, for I mean, I like to say I'm self motivated, but I always believe that's the spirit of God in me motivating me. And I'm giving him the glory for all things that's work of good in me, because outside of that, there's no good thing. Because we was all born in sin, shaped in iniquity. And until we came to Christ, outside of Christ, there was no good thing in us. Okay. And when I accepted him, he imparted it. He, give me the oil and the anointing to do the things that I do, and give me the mindset to be able to think. Because a lot of people, they out here doing crazy stuff, and their page may be blowing up. They got secret societies and, all these rituals and the witchcraft. And I don't want no part of that, because the enemy can now I ain't gonna say bless. He can give you something for a season, but when he take you down, all the money you made from it, all the things you gained, he gonna take it. And he gonna drag you through the mud. And you gonna suffer and do crazy labor as you doing it. And I don't really want to get caught up in that. And that's why I say, who has influenced you? Who do they serve? Okay. Are they telling you things to get you caught up? Because I have been on pages and they was telling you how to light this candle to get, you know, popularity, subscribers. They was controlling, they was chanting, all kind of crazy stuff. And trust me, I blocked their pages. I was like, oh no, the devil is a lie. And that's how I went back and to visit some of the pages of these people they was teaching. Their pages are gone. I seen some of them, they went to jail. Some of them became unalive. I'm not saying it's just because of the rituals, but I'm saying there's a coincidence that's beyond a coincidence that happened to vast majority. And I don't want to get off into that. I just look at everybody. I'm not looking to be an overnight success. I feel that I'm successful right now, but I do want to tell small content creators, watch who influence you. Watch who influence you. And if you hear somebody talking about another person, criticizing them, don't take sides. Just view the video. I don't care if I watch your video, I'm going to like your video. Okay? Because it don't kill me to give nobody a like, for one. And I did watch the content. Okay? Sometimes you only profit a little. Sometimes you get confirmation. But for whatever reason I watch a video, I'm going to hit a like. Okay? Only time I ain't going to hit a like is if they turn around telling me to serve the devil. And then I'm going to run from the page. I ain't going to watch the video. Once it go turn left, that's it. Okay? And I will tell them, do not recommend this channel. Even though occasionally they still recommend them anyway. But that's not the point of the video. You got to know who your source is, who your God is, and you got to have sound judgment. You got to be able to decipher what truly makes sense. I had to learn about some of the YouTube rules. I'm going to have some printed out and I'm going to read them, because I didn't know you couldn't say certain words on YouTube. And I wish they had a page that can really, like a PDF that they'll send you once you become a small content creator, and tell you their golden rules. I just wish, that's all I can say. And I tell people, when God is, you doing something and you got God, sometimes he take you through real slow so you can learn the ins and out, and he can perfect you before you have a large audience. Because sometimes along the way, if he give you too much and then somebody else come in criticizing and critiquing you, It can be so discouraging. And some people are followers. Somebody can make one comment, then everybody else want to make that comment and be mean. And it can be beyond discouraging. It can make you downright give up. I'm just a person to say, well, I'll make a video. I made a mistake on that page, on that video. I'll come back and correct myself. Why? Because I walk with God and I know that we all have to correct ourselves. We have to examine ourselves. Sometimes we can believe something and be led a certain way and find out we just went down a rabbit hole. Okay? And we have to learn to be honest and transparent. And when you get on this page, and I'm going to recommend, don't tell all of your business. Okay? Because people, they be looking for stuff, and it's crazy people out here. They stalkers and all that kind of stuff. And I just tell people, look, you got children, don't show your children's face on YouTube. Small children, no. Mm-mm. You got weirdos. Some people successful doing it, I don't recommend it. I'm not saying they wrong. I'm just saying there's a lot of weirdos out here. I heard a man tell me one time, he said he be watching different social media platforms. He loved to see children. And the way he got to talking, I knew it wasn't right. I was like, There's a lot of people out here looking for children. They shutting down and busing. The police is going in, arresting a lot of people for child trafficking. And they have a profile on the most children that will sell the most. I knew this as a child because I was real bright skinned. And they looked at me and I had long hair. My hair was naturally straight curly. And what they told me was, as a child, and it was this pedophile in the alley, and he was playing with a lot of children. I seen him. So they called us as a group and they was talking to us to inform us. And when they was talking, they said you. Because it was Caucasians living in our neighborhood. They was my friends and everything. And they said, yeah, they'll snatch them, but you. Even though I was bright, they say they like exotic children. And they turned around and told me that. I was like, you see your hair. They have a high market for this. And I have learned to go certain places and to wear wigs. People don't understand. It ain't just the modeling that I did when I'm my younger years. It is. I learned to wear wigs to kind of hide my identity, certain features, because people who traffic people have a type. Some of them will get anybody, but some of them is certain types they go for. And they study you. Before I came to this state, I got attacked to they tried to pull me into a van and pull off with me for sex trafficking. I knew it was sex trafficking 3 different times. And God brought me out. I fought one time. I fought a long time and got out. And I ran across the middle of this big major street and the police was coming. And I was like, ah! And the police stopped. And when the police stopped, they pulled off in the van. Okay. Then there was some guys that knew me. And when they was pulling me, they said, oh, is that auntie? And they ran across the street and went to fighting. And them guys ran off. They took off. Okay. I done been through some things. And I tell women, see, a lot of y'all don't even think older women will be snatched, but they will. It depends on your features, too. They study you. And they have different types they looking for. And you have to be very careful. But I'm going to leave this alone. But that's what I talk about when I say who influenced you, who's teaching you and giving you good critiques and good things to remember and guidelines to help you to set your page to be successful. And so that's why I don't recommend children being on there, because we live in a crazy world. Okay. But to each their own. I don't want to see nothing bad happen to somebody's children. I pray God keep them safe. But I know that people that get off into that, and PDs, they have profiles on which child to touch, go after. Okay. So I learned some things about that. I'm learning other things as I go along the way, some do's and some don'ts. Okay. And when I say don't put too much, people, when I started my page, I used to be in a lot of mega churches and a lot of things. I helped teach a lot of people. Let me explain something to you. People knew me, so they knew a lot of things about me. So I'm somewhat transparent. But when it comes to certain information, I'm not going to give you that. I may tell you about it, have a testimonial once I achieve some things. Because you can make your life so hard, people fighting it, people trying to seek information. Okay. They try to tell me I didn't have that. Well, on my Facebook page, I was showing different degrees that I had. Boom, 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 showing the paperwork. They congratulated me over the years. Me and my different cap and gown, graduations, all the different colors and stuff. So they knew a lot of things about me. But I tell people, don't tell everything about you. And people try to put you in the box and try to judge you because I say I'm Christian. Just one person said, well, honey, don't let no cleavage show. I said, well, I didn't say anything. I said, okay, thank you. Praise God. But in my mind, I turn around and I say, when you are top heavy, you can adjust your blouse and you have a little tank on or something like that. A lot of things, your button will just undo sometime, and your shirt don't have to be tight. And there's somewhat of a small exposure. I'm not going to wrestle with natural things sometimes. If I see it, I catch it. Like I laid my shirt like this. I know if I lift my shirt up, you will see cleavage the way I hold the camera. And I try to be mindful of that. Because I'm not trying to attract. I'm just trying to share my content. I'm more relaxed. But I'm going to step my game up. Because I've been fighting this thing. God told me to fix myself up. A lot of time when I come up here, he didn't say just make myself look like Hollywood, quote, quote. He just told me to fix myself up because I'll put a bonnet on and just have a lot of my pages is like the nurse in a bonnet. Wear 2 ponytails. Okay. But now I'm not wearing a hair bonnet. And then the wigs, like earlier, this wig got caught up under a cap. I took it off. The wind was blowing outside, frazzle. I made a video and, I'm more relaxed. I don't want to run into the bathroom and be to the point that I can't do a video unless my hair I don't have one hair out of place. I was styling the wig because when I got it, it was a page boy and it just went down all the way around like a page boy. And I did some cutting and stuff and layering, a 90-degree layering cut. And that's so I can get my feather look in my swoop. Okay, good. But curling the hair, testing it, because they'll sell you wigs and say it's human hair and you find out it's not. It's a human hair and synthetic blend. And I wanted to get familiar with the hair. So, okay. Then I fell asleep in the wig and okay. But I'm a cosmetologist, barber. I do hair. Everything's not going to be exactly flattering on me. And then I have to do my wig sometimes because sometimes the wig's going to be low in the back and I'm trying to make a decision. Am I going to cut it low and have it tapered? Am I going to keep curls in it? What stages I want to take through this wig? So I'm going to go through some stages. Okay. I'm a makeup artist. I have a makeup artist license. Even as a child and model, I don't always put on makeup because when someone loves me, I want them to look at me. Okay, you love me. I'm not putting on no airs. I ain't trying to trick nobody. I'm going to show me. Okay. I hear people say, oh, this, and this. I had to pull the hair on my skin and let them see that this is not a dark spot. This is actually a whole bunch of baby hair. Okay. It's a whole bunch of baby hair. And yes, God talked to me, okay, you can put a little foundation on and, I'm like, okay, stage by stage, we'll grow together, YouTube, you know, because I broke a lot of habits and because I'm in the medical field and I don't want to work on a client or patient and your makeup rub off on them or on their gown or different things like that. You pick up something, you done touched your face, you bring in, different things to the room. Like they can be in the bed and you got to change their bed linen. And I know, it's a lot. You got to change their bed. If their bed is soiled, you got to do it. They don't care what title you have, which is to me treating people with dignity. But you don't want to get your makeup on the bed sheets. Okay? You don't want to take all the stuff you going in to do something on a medical level and you wash your hands, you put on your gloves, but the moment you take something off, you put your hand on the bed, you notice you see your makeup. I have to be mindful of some things. Okay? Then certain jobs, like when I was an officer, you can't have your hair past a certain length. Okay? You're not trying to go to work to turn on an inmate. They just people, but I'm just saying, that's not your MO. So when I come in a lot of times from different jobs or something like that, what I would do is minimize me in a lot of ways to try to keep how your work-based game is. Okay? I don't like for men to flirt with me at my job or any job I work at. Because one, it's not happening. Even if I wasn't married, it's not happening. Okay? I don't do that. I don't piss where I lay my head. If it didn't, when I say lay my head, that means whatever is keeping a roof over my head, I'm not gonna make it messy, okay, toxic, and cause me to lose my home because I lost my job. And that's what it means when I'm not gonna piss where I lay my head. There are a lot of content creators, people that been in the business. They'll tell you to leave your job. I don't recommend it. Even after you first get monetized, I feel you should wait at least a year or two if that's what you want to do. But me, I have a trust issue. I don't trust. You don't know what's going to happen and you can't make videos. I got to have income. I got to have a baseline. I'm sorry. And I tell you, who influenced you? Because when that lady told me to quit my job and I had just only posted about 3 videos and said, oh, you inspired me to come back. Oh my God, I would not recommend that to nobody. Don't quit your day job. You got to see, do you have what it takes to be a content creator? Because it can look exciting, just like a lot of people think modeling is easy. I tell people, look, let me explain something to you. You don't know how fast you're going to age. You don't know if you're going to have some hormone problems and gain weight. You can start off young and then get real busty and they don't want you. You can be a big model, is it called, plus size model. But they got a lot of rules in that too because I did it. I did it. And I tell people, look, if you can't take criticism, you can't be a model. Oh, that's a dot on my screen. You can't be a model because they're going to tell you your nose too big, your lips too big, your lips too small. I want this look, this kind of look. And, they used to tell me, oh, yeah, but your eyes is so dramatic. And they be like, woo, we love it. They be like, smile, them dimples. Okay, killer. We doing a scene and look like at a club, all the nice looking girls come here. They be like, get up there and you make sure you smiling. And it was like, you put that face on and it's like. and you learn how to sell it. Okay, let me explain something to you. A lot of muscle models go under so much plastic surgery. I don't want to do it. I was walking down the street as a 4-year-old kid. They pulled me up to model. Got in here and there. You may have skin that acne prone at a certain stage and lasts a long years, and you may lose your ability to model because they don't want to deal with that. But then they'll tell you, why you hold your head like that? Your eyes look dead. This, and this. You don't wear this color makeup, warm makeup well. You don't wear cool makeup well. They'll get to telling you stuff, and you need to get your nose shaped. You got to be what they want you to be if you want them big contracts. Then you sitting there, well, how do they say so thin? If you knew the secrets I knew behind the scene, you wouldn't want to do it. And I just tell people it's a choice. That's why I end up going into plus size modeling. I like to eat, but when I got sick, and when I had a child, your hormones shut down. You can't lose the weight a lot of times. Sometimes you can't go straight to the gym. Like when I had C-section, and then my son's, okay, he fractured my hip coming down. I was like, okay, no, you know. And then it's about not just who you know, who you involved with. Okay, a lot of these people in high position stuff, a lot of them single, and they don't care nothing about sleeping with their boss. That's not my standard. I set my boundaries. Okay, you may not have longevity in a lot of things, and I tell people, you get on content creator, you may not like the attacks you get. You may not can handle people trying to bully you. Okay, you may not want to be as consistent as they may want you to be. You got to set standards. You may be, every time you see you don't get a new subscriber, may be heartbreaking. You may not have patience. You may find that you're a type of person, you run out of things to talk about. People, another page may come against your page, and they want to talk about you. You got to know, can you handle it? But me being the person I am, I really don't care. I listen to people's opinions. And now I turn around, I'll make a page. They say something about me, I'll be like, well, they made a page, a video about me, and they was so mean, but okay, that's their drama. I'm moving along. Let me talk to my tribe. We're going to keep it positive over here. That was mean. That's it. And I'm be consistent because this is what I want to do. I was in the pulpit. I know about pastoring. I've been about teaching, dealt with large congregations and stuff. And I'm going to tell you, people will try to tear you apart. I was a head manager of a 27 chain store. I had to go in other stores and tell them how to set up things to draw customers. They started taking me as a training manager and training stores and different things like that. People may not like you because you have an opinion or your position. I can't take it personal. That's why I try to do things I love, but there's some sides of a job that you may not love. That's another reason I say, who influenced you? Do they make it look easy? Okay? Because it's a lot of BS in the game. And that's why I'm going to take it step by step. Try this, try that. I'm just going to keep my page as I am inspired. I want people to continue to watch me. But those who are starting new content creation pages, let me explain something to you. Be careful who you listen to and who influence you. Be careful who you shout out, because you can kill off a whole lot of people that want to subscribe to you and won't, because of who you saying that you are all in with, unless you know you really have a lot of respect for that person. Okay, it's people I used to watch for years, and I had a lot of respect for them. And as the years went by, they changed, and they became something I didn't even like. But no matter what you do as a content creator, not just small, as you grow, along the way. The best advice I'm going to give content creators is be yourself. Go take a class on public speaking or something, or read about it. Project. Try to keep it 100. And if you change your opinion, say, I used to feel this way, but now I feel like this. I'm seeing the other side to it. Just be real. And if you don't like doing it, don't do it because someone telling you you're going to get lots and lots of money. It takes a lot to get monetized. It takes a lot along the way, subscribers, it's a lot. It's up and down. People set you up, set your page up. Just make sure it's something you truly want to do, and you got to take the good, the bad, the ugly. Be consistent and make sure your content is your own. Don't just copy somebody else something and then later on find out this wasn't real, this wasn't false, this was wrong. Be real about it. Let it be your content. And that's what I do. I just talk on the various subjects because I watch so many videos over the years of life. Different subjects be popping in my head. Okay, so I'm going to speak on it. And I'm going to share it with somebody. I like to socialize. I want to talk to people. But working two jobs, you don't really have the energy to go out and find people to talk. Or they may be at work. So socializing on a social media platform for me is good. And I'm used to talking to large groups and congregations. So this is like home to me. But I'm that girl goddess. I'm just asking questions and telling you to look within as a small content creator or a content creator and think about some of the things I said. If you have any advice, just drop it in my comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye.